Well, I was going through, you know, looking for pictures and whatnot. I thought this was interesting from the standpoint that they're obviously all different hitters, but they're all getting through the same sequence. It doesn't mean that 2 frames ago Stanton looked exactly like Jeter, but the fact of the matter is that most hitters, once they begin things, there are so many more similarities than there are differences in terms of how you want to teach things. And my teaching progression has changed in the last 3-4 years as more of the rotational stuff is coming out. The big topic of discussion is launch angle. What does launch angle mean? Got to watch tryouts and saw some kids that, you know, you can tell that they're swinging up. It's like, well, that swing path would be outstanding if the pitch was thrown from somewhere up there. Then I would have matched up. And we'll talk about that later. But when you start to watch, there's one big difference, and I'll talk about that. But for the most part, all of these guys got to a similar spot, with the exception of where Stanton's front foot is, as it compares to where you can see Holiday's, where you can see McCutcheon's open, Cabrera's open, although he's already swung, so it might have spun open. And that's the hard thing when you start to look at pictures and you start to look at social media. You have no idea when that picture was taken in terms of where the ball was, what pitch was it, what was the situation, all of those things. And that's why it can be really deceiving to look at something and go, oh, look what he does. He keeps his front foot closed, so he must keep your front foot closed. Well, maybe right after contact it spins open. Or maybe this was when he wasn't hitting well, and then he got in there with his hitting guru and they changed it to somebody else. So you have no idea in terms of time. But for the most part, these are some of the phases that we want to try to get through. Okay? Some of the basics, I'll pass these around. Gene Glenn, former third base coach of the Twins, he uses this. Might be good for some of the little kids in terms of helping develop their stance. He doesn't give you any money kicking back, by the way. But we'll talk about the concept of what 90s mean, load, separation, stride separation, what bat leg is, palm up, palm down, bat path angle versus pitch angle, letting the ball travel, staying behind it. Again, talk a little bit about the bat leg. And then free spring. One of the biggest things, especially little guys, is just freeze your swing when you're done. And I'll even use them with high school guys. Freeze the swing when you're done. Because it forces them to use core strength. It forces them to be thinking about, I have to be in balance throughout the course of my swing. And it makes them focus on a lot of things leading up to that point, but especially at the very end. Just have the little guy freeze the swing. Where are you at? Are you falling over? Then there must have been something that disconnected along the way. Stance. I think it was Schmelz, he left, so we can talk about it. You know, Dad said, you know, elbow up. And we're saying, all right, maybe you got to keep your elbow down. And then I show you these pictures, and they got their elbow up. These guys get paid $1 million or more, so they can do it however they want. We don't know when this picture was taken. For all we know, he might have been doing this, and that's when the picture was taken, but then when he settled into his stance, he calmed himself down. All right? But the biggest things that you want to look at in the stance, and one of the reasons for the glasses is they call them stance check, is you want to make sure that their eyes can see the pitcher. And so I think his name was Nathan Johnson. He did it in The Jerk. So I'm a little concerned about the technology. You guys remember the movie The Jerk? Yep. Had the little handle in the front, so all the kids are going to go cross-eyed if they wear those things too much. But what it's doing is it's blocking off that back eye so that it forces them to look straight ahead. And so I think when you see those kids and they're here, well, this might be their dominant eye. In most cases, it probably is, especially for a right-handed player. Right-hand thrower, right-hand dominant. And here he is, he's burying his strongest eye back behind him instead of getting it to a square position so that he can see the pitcher. Okay? So eyes square and level. They want to be relaxed. The hands, grip is in the fingers, right? We don't want it buried in the palm. You'll hear knocking knuckles. They either start lined up or at some point in time, they have to get lined up. Some guys like rev the motor, you know what I mean? They don't ride motorcycles that are ATVs, maybe, but they use the thumb. But the old days, you had to get that turned underneath. So at some point in time, if he's not getting the knocking knuckles lined up, he's got to create that. Okay? Out in the fingers where you're a lot stronger. Okay? Some kind of rhythm. Okay? Some kind of movement. Okay? Everybody loved watching Marty Cordova hit. Why? Because he'd get in there and he had rhythm. Drives the girls crazy. Right? And they'd strike out 4 times and I'd huck one from beyond them. That only happened 1 time. I thought I was going to get to the golden sombrero, but they pulled them before I even got a chance to get all of them. But at any rate, you want to have some kind of pre-pitch movement. Okay? They have to be relaxed. How do you teach them to be relaxed? What's your favorite song? Think of your favorite song while you're up to bat. Something that gets you moving a little bit instead of just being so rigid. Okay? 90s concept. Front elbow at 90 degrees. Bat coming out of the hand at 90 degrees. Relationship between my 2 elbows is at 90 degrees. It should be able to understand the concept of 90s. Back when I was at Mankato, Dean Boyer would refer to it as the box. And I never understood what he was talking about. There's all these boxes all over the place. I had no idea what that was. My daughter started playing softball. She was taking lessons from somebody, and she talked about the concept of 90s. I think I was in my mid-40s, 42 maybe. That's the box. That's the square that he's talking about. So you don't have a good 90. Elbows are separated, backside 90. You need to get into 90. That helps us keep the elbow down. He starts here, front side 90. Fix your front side 90. You rod through. Hopefully, he's coming through. Great to have him. But you don't have top side 90. You got to get 90. Okay? The other thing that you have to teach kids is, what's your front side? Front side. What's the back side? So that you can quickly make adjustments. Okay? Front side, back side. All right? So keep those 90s for as long as you possibly can. All right? You're going to break 90 and then you're going to come back through 90. Just about in every single case. All right? Guys that hit differently and you see it differently and you have to load your hands way back, they still got to come back through the concept of 90s. So the more that you can look at where those are, where that kid is, where there's another disconnect, and there's videos out there where you can use connection balls. He's a kid that always lays it open. They put a connection ball between their helmet and the bat, and they hold it there. They can keep that, it's all right there. And then it falls out. But they get a chance to feel something instead of you just saying. You got those parents? Another thing, the videotape. Videotape all their swings for me. I would tell kids, you have a sliding glass door at home. Yes. Stand in front of it. Watch yourself. Make sure that you're far enough away. It's an important thing. You're far enough away. And then I had a kid who goes, I did that. It didn't even work. I couldn't see anything. Well, when were you doing it? Like noon. I'm like, well, you're not going to see anything at noon. You got to wait till it's dark outside. Then you can see yourself. But slow-mo so that they can see and then feel some of that stuff. Another thing to look for in terms of overall disconnect. Load. What I love about the picture is that the intent is into the backside. Okay? Not new, is that you want to make sure that you're loading into your backside. You have a kid that's lunging all the time, always stepping forward, seems like he's always out front, just flex the back leg. Something easy to think about. I'm going to flex the back leg, I'm putting a little bit more weight back here. And then when I load energy into the backside anchor, that's what we're going to refer to it more as, backside anchor here. Load my weight into that backside anchor. Big thing to look for, though, is that the back knee has to stay inside of the back foot. It can't get over the top, because now what is my head going to do? My head's going to go up and down. So I load into that, and I try to keep my levels the same. Okay? But I load my energy into that backside anchor, and I keep it there for as long as that my timing is going to allow me. Okay? Love the intent. Same thing that happens. Must be on another slide. But the knob of the bat is going to begin to turn itself back and point back at the catcher. Okay, you're going to load it back and you're going to point it back at the catcher. Scap loading. Oh, there's not. to the catcher. Scap loading is as the kids start to get older. Okay? So the big thing, launch angle, when do you get to launch angle, how do you get on pitch plane, all of those things really starts to happen on the backside. That's when you get onto plane is happening back on the backside versus some other adjustment later. Because you want to get on pitch plane sooner rather than later. Okay? So the concept is, you have PVC pipe. They were already cut to this length at 8. Somebody must have screwed up. You can start to look at front side, shoulder. When they load, are they turning too far? And I'm pointing away from where my contact is going to be. So if I turn and I rotate beyond where I'm going to contact, then I've screwed this whole thing up. Because they've watched a video. I got a scapula in the back. I got to pull this back. So you're a bull hunter. That concept of being able to pull this back without it being this. This has to stay anchored. This, I'm pulling back. So I have to keep this pointed at where I want to hit, where the ball is going to be, but this side is going to scap load back around that. Does that make sense? It's an advanced thing. Watch the kid. 95, exit velo, sophomore. Wonderful. Love the news. If I put those glasses on, I'm going to be hosed. Picture's going to be clear over here. So he's got to figure out, I have to get separation from that. I have to scaffold this so that I can keep my eyes where they're supposed to be. PVC pipes work great for this whole concept. Are my shoulders level in my stance? If anything, they're pointed down a little bit. Gives them a visual right out front. How many of us, they're like, okay, son, get your stance right. Hold your bat. Okay. Hold it there. Okay, is that your angle? Okay. Good, I'm going to hold it there. Now you go back there and look. No, just give him a piece of height. Holds it way out there. Now he knows. Or if he's here, oh, you're pointing up. See, that's where your shoulders are. Square yourself up. More visuals, more feel. The biggest disconnect in the younger kids happen between their stance and this point, the stride separation. Okay? Because their weight transfer ends up going beyond midline. You don't have to worry about the back shoulder scap. They're in their stance. They're all ready. They load, however they load, and then all of their weight just went right through midline. It has to stop at midline. That's why we have that backside anchor. Keep it in the backside anchor to here. Now it's all ready. Now it's about little kids, swing hard. You're not swinging hard. Swing hard. Swing as hard as you can. So for the littlest kids, it's about when they stride and separate. And that separate has to do with the upper body and my hands staying back, so you can hold on to this thing back here. Leave your hands there. Here's your stance, right? Everybody's in my stance, okay? Load in here. Now it stayed there. If I went here, you brought the stick with you. Everything came with. You need to keep that back here. Stick. Load. Load into it. Keep it there. Is it there? Good. Is it there? Good. All my weight's still anchored in, starting to go to midline. Make sense? And they can feel this. You can start to get into the back shoulders, scap load on the back side. You'll see guys on TV or social media, those guys, once they get here, they scap load, they lay it back here. Now it starts to lay back. This is the 45-degree angle that Boyer was talking about. That has to get to 45. So that when I start to rotate my back side to hit, I'm on pitch plane. It's coming in, -4 to -26. I have to swing +4, +26 through that. But you can start to get them there with that for the older kids. For the younger kids, hold the bat and get it at a 45 right away. Put it on the tip of their shoulder so they can feel that. Load into it, it's still there. Doesn't mean you have to hit like this. It's just a drill. That's the other thing when you're right, you do get tired when you're doing this. Not going to say. No, I'll think of it later. What I love about the picture, again, you can start to take freeze frame photos. Just notice how everything stays in alignment. Use that foot strike. Closed or open. Land flat or on the ball of the foot. I used to be really big, load into it, land on the ball of your foot, drive the front heel down when you want to go. Problem was that you're teaching your swing to start on the front side. The swing needs to start on the back side. Other thing is that I recognize the pitch is coming, so I put my heel down, but now it's off speed, and I've already committed a movement to off speed. Versus landing flat. Load into it, land flat, slightly open, my hips can start to clear. Now it's off speed, and I have time to wait. I'm ready for it to be there. If it's on time, and I'm on time, and it's on time, then whack, then I just let everything go from the back side, and release the back side, release the energy from that I've had anchored, slam it into the front. No such thing as squishing bugs. There's guys, Frank Thomas, remember him? I mean, there was times his foot was completely off the ground. But you pent up all that energy in the back side until you want to let it go into the front side. Back lag versus back drag. So he's obviously started to swing, so he's lost the front side, or the top side 90. But this still looks bent. This relationship still looks closer to 90. Again, we don't know exactly when it was. But the back elbow has to get in the slot. So as I go into the back side, here I'm anchored, and I'm going to start to go. This back elbow is here, inside the baseball, back inside, so that my hands can stay inside the ball. The barrel should stay back. Here, barrel's back, on pitch plane, so that the last movement is my hands to snap it as I explode the backside through it. Stay behind the ball. Some people said knob of the bat to the ball. Take the knob of the bat to the ball. I've also heard it referred to as hands on the railroad tracks. I get an inside pitch, load into it here, inside pitch. Where do my hands got to slide? They got to slide to left field. They got to slide on the tracks. Slide your hands on the tracks. Slide to here. Don't get out here and hook it into the dugout. There's a time and a place for everything, by the way. They talk a lot and just open it up, shut them up. But here, knob of the bat to the ball, hands on the tracks, whatever the case, whatever makes sense to them, to stay inside, to stay behind it. There's a bunch of videos out there, too, fielding lines. Ball's bouncing. Get back here, catch it here. Get behind the ball. Coach was talking about, get your glove there. I'm behind the ball. Same thing hitting. Get behind the ball. Load into it. Here. Decide to go. Behind the ball. Stay behind it. And then explode through. Let it travel. Palm up, palm down. Top hand. It's like skipping a rock. It's got to be this. They don't know what wash the table is. You probably have to have mom help with that. But wipe the table. This something this way. Palm up, palm down. Don't let it roll over. Hit the tire. A lot of us hit tires. That concept. That's the last little piece. That's the last little whip. Pitch angle, launch angle, we alluded to that. I'd rather be this, getting back here and getting on that, than trying to take my hands right to it and staying flat. Get on pitch plane earlier. We had our second baseman last year hit probably his best game was against McCraig in the playoffs. He has more of an upswing than level. And this kid was upright and over the top. Perfect storm. He's throwing it right down here, and I'm swinging right up there. Breaking the ball all over the place. But now you have to understand, what kind of pitcher do you got? Do you have a guy that's throwing it up here? Or is he down lower? I might have to flatten out my swing to be able to hit him. Okay? Okay? Good bat leg. contact, extension. There's a whole bunch more steps that you can start to put in there. More steps than the first slide. Okay, but that's as the hitter advances. Okay, we're not talking at all about hinging. Okay, trying to stay connection. Okay, but there's a lot of things that you can break it down even further if you really want to. Hitting sticks, tee work, hit off the tee. Where do you put the tee? Worst invention in the world was the black base with the black tee right in the middle. You don't hit the ball there. Inside pitch, you hit out front, move the tee out front. Pitch down the middle is further. Outside pitch is further. Teaches them to wait on pitches. Well, we don't have a lot of home plates. Neither do we. Home Depot is a pumpkin. Trace it, cut it. It's a lot lighter than the other stuff you got to try to carry around. Fold it up, throw it in the bag. Put it in your pail of balls first. You can have 100 of them. But they should always have a home plate so they know where they are in the world. Where do they set up? Soft toss from the side is good. Front toss, anytime that you can get to the front, you get the different balls. Just, you can stand in front all day long. It might sting a little, but we're grown men. We can handle this. At least they're seeing it from the front. Okay? Don't be afraid to throw it underhand. That's the level. It's just this little 10-year-old, and everybody's throwing here. That's not what he's going to see in the game. I mean, the little guys, when they throw it, might give that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, either get on a knee, you're throwing it from their level, want to save on your arm, just throw underhand. With some zip on it, but you can throw a lot of balls that way. Want to teach timing, 3-plate hitting? First plate, second plate, third plate. Start on this one. Load hit. I got to get you up. I got to get after this. Take 2 swings, move back. Now I got to wait a little longer. Now I got to wait even more. Or you can go the other way. Oh, this is easy. This is harder. This is super hard. You don't have to throw any harder. You're just moving down. 3-plate hitting is great. Boards and blocks. 2x4 cinder blocks. You've seen that. Railroad ties. Big heavy things to carry around, but it helps with some balance. Big toe on the ground. Big toe on the ground. Figure out where they're at. Again, it's just a drill, but they can feel it. Load into the backside. Load into the backside. Hit against the front side. Hit against that. You got to change it so they're off to stride. So part of their foot's on the ground, but something to stop them. Load into it. Now feel yourself push off of that. Then slowly take it away. Hitting weighted objects. It's great. Gives them immediate feedback that I didn't do something right. Ugh, that hurt. Ooh, just floated off to the side. One of the videos in there shows, just the little kid doing weighted balls. That's weird. It is on mine, not on yours. Technology, gotta love it. Mental things that I want to keep you too long. Mental training. Don't be caught up on averages, unless it's some kind of quality at bat average, right? One of the things in there, simple again, you can come up with your own. What's a positive at bat? What's a negative at bat? Some kind of scoring system. Base, advance, average, a link to that. Basically, get them on, get them in, or get them over, get them in. They get points for that. So when you come up to bat, nobody's on base, you got 4 chances. You get a home run, you advance to all 4. You get a single, congratulations, you're 1 for 4. You steal second, I'll give you another point, now you're 2 for 4. Get a single, the guy behind you grounds out. eliminates one, but you reach, so it's a wash. So you keep track. We did it in the short toss scrimmage. It was amazing how many points they're trying to score points by being a team player. Great way to do it, especially like in a scrimmage or a short toss scrimmage situation, where you can be in a little bit more control. A lot more at-bats than a regular game, but show them the importance. And the score might not necessarily have been super close, or it got close at the end because you had good team at-bats later. It's a great tool for teaching kids that it's more than just getting ahead. Setting goals has got to be realistic, achievable, measurable. Put in the element of time. Make them accountable somehow. Okay? Make them do it on video. Send it to you. Closing remarks. It's a great resource in terms of just developmental. USA Baseball has this concept. This page is not extensively long to go through. It's easy to get through. But in terms of developing some perspective, it's a great read. We talk about filing emotions. File the good, file the bad. They have to have that skill so that they can compartmentalize things. Guys, we're good at that. Like when I talk to my wife, it's like, we're talking about this, and then we're talking about this, and then we're talking about this, and then all of a sudden we're talking about that again. How do we get back to that? I already put that away. No, because there's just all over the place. We can talk about anything at any time. But file it away. File the good. What's your favorite kind of ice cream? What's your favorite song? I need you to have rhythm. Get into your file. What's your favorite song? You sing that. You need to relax a little bit. But then you have to make time and practice. If they filed something away in the game that didn't go well for them, they have to find time. They have to be given time to work on what's in their file. That's an important piece. We might think that he sucks at fielding ground balls. The reason he's not fielding ground balls is because he's worried about hitting. So if you said, hey, what do you need to work on today? You got 5 minutes. What do you need to work on? I need to work on two-wood. Or we'll have guys, I need to work on breaking ball. Will that help you field the ground ball? What do you mean? I'm fine fielding ground balls. I'm horrible. I'm worried about freaking hitting dirt ball. Give them time to clean out their own folder. At the end of the season, you might just start shredding stuff. Don't file anything away. Just look at all the good. All the things that make you the player that you are. Okay. Rules of engagement. Got this from my daughter. Coaching in the car. It got to the point where we couldn't talk about anything in the car, sport related. Rules and parameters were if she brought it up. If she brought it up, then we could talk about it. So that's fine. It's going to be a hard one. You got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to get through. You got all kinds of stuff we got to work on. If they're screwing up at home, they might want to talk about baseball. You know what I mean? They might not want to talk about anything else. But another big one was getting permission. Hey, watched you play today. Had a lot of fun watching you play. Noticed there was a play cut off. And are you okay if we talk about that? Because I think I can help you. Nope, I don't want to talk about it. What are we going to talk about that? You got me here! Hates it then, right? But if it's on her terms, yeah, what are you thinking? Well, I just thought you could move your feet a little bit and just turn a little bit more and shadow a little bit. Might make things easier. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So make it when they say yes, make it super positive. That's the key. It's got to be on their terms. It's not on your terms. Set the boundaries together, set the expectations together. We've all heard that they don't really care how much you know until they don't much you care. Questions, comments? We're out of time for that. But I'll stay here forever if you want. Not really, but for a long time. Thanks for taking the time to be here. Thank you more for taking the time to play. All right. Again, I'll be here.